Hi, welcome back. So, you ever feel like you have a lot of really good things like right at your fingertips, like it's almost right there, but you can't quite get a hold of it? And I feel like I've got so many wonderful things potentially going on in life. There's some opportunities that might be coming up. I don't know. Things not only either at work or at home. There's been performance things that, for instance, I got to be part of a Wizards duel here in Orlando, which was awesome. I don't have any good quality video that I would show, otherwise I'd be showing it to you right now. So I did this great Wizards duel, and there were probably about a dozen people that were there as far as actual magicians. Now this was okay. So full background. There's this bar somewhere in Central Florida that was having a Harry Potter themed Wizards market. So they had all sorts of oddities and Harry Potter themed stuff. They advertised it well. They had, at least a few hundred people, couple hundred people that showed up to this thing, and it was cool. They had some themed decoration stuff, some themed shopping, and they decided that what would be a fun thing would be to have a Wizards duel, where they would invite, a dozen magicians in and have kind of a one-trick competition. And one of my friends, Karis, actually tagged me in that. Thank you again for that. And I had plenty of time, so I could get the time off from work and everything. So I got to be part of that, and I got to meet a few people, although I was nervous because I haven't really performed in a long time. So I got my trick ready, and I did it, and despite the fact that there were some sound issues there, which, if they do it again, I guess now I'm more prepared. So I tried to be as loud as I could, but it was a bar. We're talking there was, a couple hundred people in this little bar, and not everybody exactly was there for the competition, so they weren't exactly being quiet enough for everybody. The long and the short, they had three guest judges that were all dressed up in cosplay, and had to give a score of 1 out of 10 for each of them, so possible score of 30. What was particularly nerve-wracking, maybe terrifying from someone who hasn't been out performing very much in the last couple of years or so, is that there's nobody that I knew that was doing any kind of the judging. These were not magicians, they were not people that I knew. It was completely blind. It was just people who were going to go by what they saw and what they felt, and so, 1 out of 10. So out of a possible score of 30, I managed to score 29, a near perfect score, which blew my mind. I thought that was ridiculously cool. So that helped me a lot as far as external quantification of, okay, you can do this. There's validation, like, okay, you don't suck at this, continue to do that. Another cool thing is I managed to meet some other magicians, and there's another magician who kind of reached out to me and some other people about, hey, I can't do this gig, anybody willing to do it? So I managed to get the time off from work, and I'm trying to get in contact with the other people that it's with. Who knows, maybe someone else has already filled it. I want it. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it. It's not going to be life-changing if I do get it, but I want it. And it's part of so many other little things that I feel are right there at my fingertips, but I'm feeling like I don't know if I can actually achieve it. I feel like there's a lot of us that are like that, and we try to motivate ourselves. We try to make sure we're on the right track so that we can do these things, we can get these things. And I don't know, maybe I see so many people, some people that I know that are in my life that have this aura of just constantly out there doing things, and I don't know if it's kind of an ableist part of my head that thinks that they need to be the people that everyone aspires to, and I'm sure they think that they're the people that everyone needs to aspire to, even though they might not realize that not everybody can do the same thing, whether it's anxieties, depression, any other minor or major disabilities. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to kind of try to keep doing what I can to help myself. You should too, because we are all kind of in this together, and I want to see as good stuff for you as I hope that I end up with myself. Yeah, that's what's going on lately. Alright, I suppose let's get this show on the road. Okay, that's still cool. That's still awesome. I still haven't quite gotten used to that. Also, still really excited about the coffee. If you want to make me unexpectedly happy, a cup of coffee does some great stuff. So, cheers. Hope you like the Maharley mug. Sad, I've got like a little chip in it, but if I turn it this way, don't have to worry about it. You just can't see Harley. Alright, cool. Episode 2. I guess we're really getting into this now. Alright. I guess unless anybody else has any suggestions, I could probably... Okay. I guess we have this week's topics from the producers of sorts, so I guess let's go through. Okay. Rich Geeks Out. So this part is something that we were going to get to at some point. We might as well get it out of the way sooner rather than later, because chances are you're going to see this. So, as you know, I can sometimes wear fun, geeky stuff on my days off, or if I'm out doing something or whatever. But when I'm at work, I have to dress boring. I mean, boring, and I hate it. I hate it because there's so many things that I like. There's so many pieces of geekery and personality, and I can't wear any of it. And so I got really tired of waking up tired, putting on boring stuff, going out into the world and projecting myself as some sort of normal boring person, going to work, being boring at work, and then after work coming home and either being too tired to change into anything else or go out or whatever, and still just being boring. So I wanted some way that I could wear my geeky heart on my sleeve wherever I went, and maybe something that I could wear to and from work, and it's kind of escalated to something where I wear like a vast majority of the time, so I figured I'd show you. It is my vest. So, it is this wonderful, glorious, geeky vest of goodness with all sorts of great stuff on there. I got the idea from everything from like the leather community vests, the biker club vests and stuff like that, where I try to think of other ways that other people might show off everything that they are, that they love, that is important to them, and to be able to show the world, but at the same time something that wasn't, a little bracelet or not, I don't know, something that you could kind of accessorize with anything. And the vest came to mind. Now, I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to be entirely disrespectful either. So I did make sure this is actually black denim, not an actual leather. It's not anything that I've, earned or anything. This is just, something I use to show off my personality. And I've kind of tried to do the sides of the one side being like the core experiences, the core things that, are really about me and kind of who I am, and then the other side of, I don't know, maybe some of the smaller things, the smaller representations. So I have So I've got my bigger ones here, and I'll try to put in some other video stuff here too. I've left spaces for like name tags and stuff, but I haven't had a chance to actually have that done yet. I haven't gotten any of these great custom patches or anything made yet, which I really want to do. And I've got like 3 or 4 new patches and new pins that I still have to add, but unfortunately I've been using this for like 3 years, and I've used it so much, I've worn it like every day, that it's been tearing these giant holes all the way down through here, so it very much needs to be replaced for another one. So now all the patches are going to have to get cut off, they're going to have to get other ones sewn on, and the other ones... a lot of work to be done. But first I have to find the other patches that I have, and I've lost them. We've been moving all sorts of stuff around the house, and I can't find them, and it sucks, because it's just grinding everything to a screeching halt. But as of right now, I've got the Star Trek badge. See, I'm one of those weirdos, one of those weird geeks that I love Star Trek. Star Trek's fantastic. There's so much good that can be said about Star Trek, and I'm sure I'll talk more about it at some point when I geek out specifically about Star Trek or something. But I also really enjoy Star Wars. Oh, look at that. You don't have to choose. You can like both. It's fine. So, I got my Star Trek pin. I had to pick Next Generation, because the Next Generation was kind of the very formative Star Trek for me. Growing up, that's the one that we watched. Man, we with my parents, so we would schedule our time to watch Star Trek. You know, it's back before DVRs and such, so we tried to make sure that we could see it. Yeah, we could watch it on VCR, and sometimes we did, but we really tried to watch it as it happened. Star Trek The Next Generation, I love it. I am so excited for Picard. That's going to be a great series. I love Discovery. I digress. If I spent all the time on all the things, we'd spend 3 hours and I wouldn't do anything else. So, there's the Star Trek. There's the TARDIS with the Doctor Who. I have loved Doctor Who ever since I started watching the reboot. Yes, there's the Star Wars. We have the original NES controller, another very, very formative gaming system for me that I'm sure I will go into later. After I had the NES, I went to the Sega Genesis. That was another huge console for me. And Harley Quinn. There's Harley Quinn right there as well. A really awesome patch for that. So then on the other side, we've got all these different pins, and I'm going to try to show you a little look at each of these pins. I have no idea how successful I'm going to be at this, but I'm going to try to give you a good look at each of these pins as I'm talking about them. But I also need to see what in the world I'm talking about. So we've got pins from like Ravenclaw. Up at the top we've got our Ravenclaw pin. Love Harry Potter. I never actually started reading. Okay. Did I see the movies or the books first? I think I read the books first. I didn't really start, I don't know. I don't remember if I started reading the books or watching the movies first. I may have watched some of the movies. I know that I did not start reading the books until all the books were out. I didn't start reading them at all. I got this great chest of books behind me. It's probably not even visible, even if I move aside or whatever. Maybe it's the... oh, is that the one? Is that it? Is that... Yeah! I've got this chest right here with all the hardcover books right there. So, yeah. They're really cool. I read all the books, seen all the movies. I'm a proud Ravenclaw. I have my robe, my interactive wand for like over at Universal. Good stuff. We've got a Hyrule crest from, of course, the Legend of Zelda. I started playing all the way back from the original Nintendo Entertainment System Zelda. Yeah, Legend of Zelda. A great formative game. I missed a lot of the games. I missed a lot of the Zelda games. I need to go back and play. I have caught up. I've played through Breath of the Wild. I've completed all the reasonable things, including finding and completing all of the different shrines. It's all this great stuff. We've got the Dark Brotherhood hand from Skyrim. Skyrim's a great game. There's so many games that I've come into late in the game, no pun intended, and that's a great one that I've enjoyed. I've played through it a couple times. Dark Brotherhood's a really great set of side quests, so we've got that. That and it's dark, which is awesome. Going back to the other side, we have this set of gears is for escapology. I love escape rooms. They are one of my favorite pieces of entertainment. And that's the only escape room that I could find a pin for. They have some here in Orlando, so I have a pin for that. Escape Game Orlando is also another really great place to do escape games, but no pin. Stargate. Cool Stargate pin, a great set of TV shows and movie, but really I enjoy the TV shows. Invader Zim. Fantastic show. It's been a while since I've watched it. I need to go back and watch it. There's just too much good stuff out there. We have Team Mystic. Yes, so Pokemon Go player. I am currently a level 37, getting so close to level 38. So I'm happy to be a 37. I know someday I'll get to 40. I'm not disappointed I'm not 40 now, because I know how much time and effort that takes, and there's so many other things that I like doing with my life as well, so I will get there. But yeah, Team Mystic, woo! South Park, the modern day morality plays, really fantastic. Glad I have a pin representing them. We've got this giant Rick and Morty pin. I'm not like a huge ridiculous fan of Rick and Morty, but I do absolutely appreciate them. I absolutely do enjoy watching it. I couldn't give you all the useless trivia and stuff like that about it, but it is a good show. I just happen to have this pin, even if it is the size of Montana. Maybe someday I'll replace it with a smaller one if I happen to get one. We have Beetlejuice. Not only a great movie, but that was like my favorite cartoon as a kid. If you haven't seen the Beetlejuice cartoon, actually I haven't seen it in a very long time. It might be one of those cartoons that you go back and you watch and you're like, oh, this is not as good as you thought it was. Like okay, anyone remember the Super Mario Brothers Super Show that with Captain Lou Albano playing Mario? I loved that as well, and sometimes you can find it up on the Netflix. I bring that up and I watch it, and it is not great. It's nostalgia fodder, so sometimes I watch it for that, but I remember Beetlejuice being a great cartoon, so hopefully it still is, and we'll still hold up to that. Oh man, then we've got this Skyrim logo. This is actually the Imperial's logo. This is the only game or franchise that's really represented twice on the vest. Because the Dark Brotherhood hand is on there, but that's kind of less recognizable, and which is kind of okay for the little Easter egg, but not everybody recognizes it. So you're like, oh, there's no Skyrim, bummer. Like, no, there really is. They're right there. So there's that. Deadpool. He's a great character. My main experience with Deadpool is really it's the movies. And there's so much other good stuff out there, but again, it's a matter of I only have so much time to actually take in all the things. But Deadpool's a really great character, and I enjoy it very much. Ren and Stimpy, another great formative cartoon. I think when I think of Ren and Stimpy, I think of weird silliness that was kind of okay to be that kind of weird and off, and sometimes a little dark. And it makes me think of Snick. The Big Orange Couch with Clarissa Explains It All, Roundhouse, Ren and Stimpy, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? That Big Orange Couch, man, that meant the world to me back in the day. Those were some serious, awesome nights in when I could stay home and watch Snick on Saturday nights. We've got a NASA pin. NASA's such a fantastic agency, and they do so much good and so many good things. And if you haven't been to the Kennedy Space Center down here in Florida, I highly recommend you check it out. Something that I would love to go back and check it out. Who knows? Maybe we can do it together. Maybe we can make it a thing. So really love NASA. Got my pin to represent that. We have Hydra. I mean, Yeah, Hydra's a pretty terrible organization, but it's a pretty interesting and iconic, or kind of Marvel organization. I'm not huge into Marvel, but like I like Agents of Shield, and they've been having a lot of really huge, great films lately. So I think this is kind of like the token tourist who loves walking around with a Slytherin T-shirt because they're like, it's the bad guys. I like to be the bad guys. I'm like, well, no, it's not exactly bad. It just, never mind. I think I like the Hydra just because, like, dress in black and yeah, we're the bad guys and whatever. We've got this. Okay, we got these couple of pins that were given to me by a dear friend, and they're pretty fantastic. These mashup pins of this Bulbasaur. That's right, it's a Boba Fett Bulbasaur. Awesome. And then the other one is a Chain Chomp Death Star. Just so cool. It's just this fantastic mashup, this Mario and Star Wars. Last but not least, we have this pin from Bioshock. That's the word. That's the one we were looking for, is Bioshock. So, all good things of this earth flow into the city, and it's the lighthouse from the first couple of Bioshocks. It's a great set of games. Fantastic set of dystopian games. So, that is my geek vest. When you see it, whether you see it on me or you see it in a video or something, that's what it is. So, partially, I wear it because of that, because I get to show all my geeky pride and everything with everybody. But also, what I've grown to notice is, man, these pockets are great. I've got a little pocket here, got a little pocket here, and I got these big giant pockets in here. So I've held like my 3DS in one of these pockets. I've held like a charging battery, charging cord in there. Sometimes I'll keep like a deck of cards in that pocket, and I'll keep like my sunglasses, my Pokeball Plus controller. This has turned into like my man purse. So there are times in which I've decided, I don't really have to wear that today, and I go to leave the house, and then I'm like, I need my sunglasses. My phone might be getting dead. I should probably bring the charger. Okay. And I guess I should probably bring the Poke. All right, now I need a bag to put all that. All right, we'll just take it. So, that's my vest. That's me geeking out. All right. Next. Okay. So I learned a thing today. I actually learned that the term superseding is not a gardening term. Yeah. Superseding is not a gardening term. That's what I learned today. That was a thing. That was a thing that happened. Yes. I wasn't anticipating to have so many of these bits recurring so often. I know we just did this, but the gift that just keeps on giving, it is Florida Man. So, I found these couple of pretty fantastic Florida Man stories I just had to share with you. Okay. And this is pretty ridiculous. All right. So, a Florida man on Easter, a Florida man dressed as the Easter Bunny threw punches in downtown Orlando as a fight broke out. So, a man in an Easter Bunny costume, downtown Orlando, throwing punches. Apparently, the man in the bunny suit was bar hopping. Okay, it's kind of funny. So he was bar hopping when he saw a man and a woman fighting outside. I guess the guy even spit on the woman. So the bunny-clad man landed several punches before police broke up the fight. There were no arrests made. So, yes, the man in downtown Orlando in a bunny suit throwing fisticuffs. That's an absolute Florida man. Secondly, here's another gem. This is another one of those reasons where I could not go without introducing you to another Florida man. So, also, a Florida man as part of a domestic disturbance allegedly doused his ex-wife's house in gasoline, lit it on fire, accidentally burning himself in the process, and setting his pants on fire. He then got into a Dodge Charger that was painted like the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard and drove off, leading police on a high-speed chase through 2 counties, exceeding speeds of over 100 miles per hour before being arrested at his own mobile home. He was admitted to the hospital for over a week to treat his burns, where he was burned over 15% of his body, including his legs, arms, and back. So, I can't even imagine what leads up to this. But, yeah, Florida man drives up ex-wife's house with gasoline, douses the thing, inside, outside, I think even the inside, douses it in gasoline. Probably splashed some on himself because he's Florida man. Lit the place, including himself, and runs. So another part of the story, which is kind of interesting. So they apparently there were 2 dogs inside. They did rescue the 2 dogs, so no one was actually hurt aside from Florida man and the house. Gets into the General Lee, speeds off, leading authorities on a chase like it's right out of the TV, over 100 miles an hour. Apparently, at one point, by the way, gets out of the car, like they threw down some sticks to pop the tires and everything. Gets out of his car, jumps into, I think it was a black SUV, and takes off again just to go back to his mobile home. Because, he'd be safe there? So, yeah. A couple great instances of Florida man. And they say if you listen closely, you can still hear Florida man's call.
I float like a butterfly, and I sting like the Cadbury butter.
All right, that was Florida man. Okay, next up, here's another call for mailbag. So, we are 2 episodes into this being our second one, and we don't really have anything in the email yet because we are just getting started. But please, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have something weird that you'd like to see, something weird that you'd like to ask, really anything that you want to send my way, feel free to send it to rich@richdoesathing.com. The email address is live, it's open, send whatever weirdness, wonderfulness, whatever it is that you want to send. You go ahead and send it. And if it's either appropriate or if it's pleasantly inappropriate, I might address it. So, Send me your information your way. So it's rich@richdoesathing.com. That's right, rich@richdoesathing.com. Send me your mail, your tired, huddled emails, yearning to be on YouTube, and we'll see what goes from there. Okay, next up, here we have a new one, a piece that I'm very excited about doing time and time again as a bit of kind of a public service announcement from me and people like me to you and any people who might need the information. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you what not to do in a store. If you work with the public, you probably know what I mean. You've probably had some things that people do, that they do over and over again, which drives you crazy because you shouldn't do it. And here I will be presenting those things to you. So, without any further ado, here we are with things not to do in a store. Let's take a watch. Okay, so you see here we've got some shirts. We got some shirts, some pants. Clearly we have some sort of clothing going on here. The shirts appear to be in not only some sort of sorted by color, they're probably in some sort of size order as well. Here we go. Yes, so person's going to check out the red and the blue, checking out the shirts, and we're just going to throw them on the rack. They were right in front of us. They're absolutely right. Yeah, and the gray just goes on top of the other blue shirt and walking away. And that's it. So, yeah. Okay. Whole bunch of things. You really should... Okay. So there's... Alright. So if you're going to look at something, whether it's shirts, pants, really anything that has some sort of fairly easy to figure out system for organization, you can put it back. It only takes a tiny bit of energy and human decency to put something back. Now, I'll give you, if you are at Goodwill and maybe certain things don't have an exact place for it, and you just kind of, if you get close, honestly, if you try, so much of everything that happens in what not to do in a store just comes down to try. Because if you try, the people that work there will have so much more respect for you, and they will be more than happy to go out of their way to help you with whatever it is. Now, okay, so looking at the red shirt and the blue shirt, even if you took it from the middle, maybe you had like the biggest size, which was normally supposed to be in the back, if you put it back in the front of where those shirts go, if you put the red shirt back in front of the red shirts, you put the blue shirt back in front of the blue shirts, that's fine. It's not perfect. Yeah, somebody else could help you out. That's okay. You know, there's a certain amount of, hey, you tried. Now, if you just throw it over the rack, or if you throw it over the rack of something that's like right there, okay. Again, maybe you are on the opposite side of the store. You don't remember where you got it. Maybe you're at Macy's and you're like, I'm pretty sure I picked this up at Sears and I don't even know where I am or what state I'm in. Okay, fine, I can kind of see it setting down, but when you are right next to where everything goes, and you can turn around 45 degrees and see where it's supposed to go, put it back. Actually put it back where it's supposed to go. Not just throw it on there. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people just throw crap there. What's almost worse, which is why we showed you with the gray shirt, is sometimes people will look at something, and then they will, it almost takes more work. You almost have to go out of your way to screw it up, to put it 2 panels over to the right or left or whatever, you know, or I've seen people like hang stuff up upside down, or like not even backwards, like kind of sideways, where the pokey parts of the hanger aren't even going in sleeve holes. I just like, well, made it in the neck, it's close enough, and just leave it there. There is a certain level of retail hell that you go to when you do stupid stuff like that. So all I and anyone else is asking is just pick up after yourself. Just try. Again, it just comes down to just try. Because that is not trying. What you see on that video is not trying, and we have seen it time and time again. Leaving stuff just on the floor. Okay, I've even seen things like there have been a pair of pants or something crazy like that where there's a design on one side, like there's a clear design on one side. They look, isn't this pretty? And the other side is like, no, it's not. And people, where everything is like, okay, hold on, we're doing this. Where you get all the designy things in a row, all the pants, all the cue cards, whatever, are sitting in a row, and someone's like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna look at." No, not that. No, yeah, that's no. Let's take the one off the front. Let's take yeah. Let's look at it and okay, that's good. We're good, and we're moving on. Like, why? But why? So, yeah. So this stuff right here that you can see on your screen with the not caring and the not trying, just, you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to fold things exactly the way everything else is. You don't have to make it look absolutely perfect. Just try. And there are some people where I've heard time and time again, oh, they pay people to fix all that. No, they do not pay people to fix that. First off, that'd be a really boring job, just wandering around, just kind of fixing every little tiny little thing. But secondly, they got other things they need to be doing, and picking up after you're dumb is no. Okay. The way I think of it is, if you are saying, oh, they pay people to fix that, they pay people, and those people are fixing that. But at the same time, if you took a dump in the middle of their store, if you just dropped trow and just and walked out, they are paying people to work there. And those people know that the store is not supposed to have a deuce sitting in the middle of it. So they're going to clean it up. Now, but that doesn't mean that these people are being paid to clean up your shit. So, just apply that same logic. Again, if it's not 100% perfect, that is fine. Everybody that works in those places completely understands. They're welcome. They are more than happy to help you out. But just any modicum of human decency and just adulthood on your end makes their lives so much easier, so much more zen. And keep in mind that probably 5 minutes ago, Linda was asking to get their manager because they couldn't take an expired coupon. So they're dealing with enough crap as it is. I'm going to get off this soapbox for now, but what not to do in a store? Don't do it. All right, here's another fun one. So we've got ourselves some genuine theme park rumors. Now, I really enjoy theme park, not only like the plans for stuff that's happening, but really I kind of like even the rumors the most. Because like I told you about, maybe not everything's actually going to come to fruition. Maybe some things are going to get shaped a little differently. Some things might not even happen at all. You know, it's the dreaming of what might happen. Now again, I don't work for a theme park. I don't work for SeaWorld. I don't work, Universal does not employ me. Disney does not employ me. I don't have any insider information. I just have the internet. Kind of the same thing as everybody else. And as everybody knows, the internet's incredibly fallible, and that's okay with me. So let's just kind of explore some of these things together. This episode, I'm going to talk about Epcot, because Epcot has a ton of stuff that is going on and will be going on. So apparently, oh my goodness gracious, so is preparing. They're about to have their 50th anniversary in 2021. So we've got a couple years. We got like a year and a half before that happens, and they want to spruce the place up and make sure it's really nice for that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff they're doing. Innoventions is closing down, completely going away, gone. So now, granted, they never really had any like amazing stuff at Innoventions. They might have had some stuff that you might have enjoyed here and there, and it was nice to get the break with the air conditioning if you were there on a hot day. But that, kiss it goodbye, going away. So they're taking the entrance to Epcot. They're going to be completely changing that as well. Right now, it's very kind of harsh and concrete, and they want to make it more green and lush for the entire thing, so as you're walking through, it's a lot more alive. Now, you might also be remembering that a lot of that concrete solidness is they are the Leave a Legacy tiles that many people have purchased along the way, including actually my parents. We went and got a photo. Actually, we got a couple photos in Leave a Legacy. I don't remember offhand where it is right now, but I'll look it up at some point in a future episode. I will tell you. That way you can find us. It'll be like high school me. One with myself and my mom, one with myself and my dad, because you could only do 2 people per photo, and by God, we were all going to be on there. So that's how we made that work, and it's cool. So, but they're going to be taking that away from the middle. Now, they're not getting rid of it, which is good, because when you bought one, they said, you're going to be part of Epcot forever. So, I guess they're going to be moving it kind of off to the side. It'll be, you'll have to kind of go out of your way to see it, but, I mean, unless you're looking for yourself or some famous people. There are some cool famous people there. NSYNC is there. I know, Penn from Penn & Teller has a word one. Some of them wasn't a picture. You could just have some words. Long story. If you listen to his podcast, you might recognize it. Stuff like that. So they're going to be moving Leave a Legacy. The Circle of Life Theater that's over in the Land. That's going to be changing the Lion King video. Going to be changing that to a video by Awesome Planet, which should actually be really cool. It'll still be a video, still be in the theater. They'll probably redo a little something about the theater, but changing the video is so good. It'll be something that at least I want to go watch. You're probably going to want to watch too. Of course, we have, the Ellen's Energy Adventure that they got rid of. It seems like forever ago. They're going to be doing the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster. That should be out in 2021 in time for their 50th anniversary. That's going to be huge and ridiculous and amazing. Let me see. Do we have... Okay, no, that's... Making sure I have some of that for later. All right. Now, apparently, okay, this is another cool thing I just found out about today. They're going to do a new Skyliner gondola system. Now, not necessarily throughout Epcot, although that would be kind of cool, but it's this little cable gondola system. Think of it almost like a monorail, because they're going to be connecting the Art of Animation Resort, Pop Century Resort, Caribbean Beach Resort, Disney's Riviera Resort, connecting those with 2 parks, Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot. That's kind of cool. I think of it like a monorail system where they're trying to think of a unique skyway system of transporting people from one place to another, maybe help cut down on traffic, cut down on some buses and whatnot. And it's novel. It'd probably be a kind of a cool way to move around from place to place. So the Skyliner gondola system, that's a new piece that they're working on. I guess they're already starting some construction, putting up some towers and stuff like that. So that's cool. Okay, another huge thing that's going to be happening at Epcot. So they are taking down Spaceship Earth. Before you freak out, I don't mean like taking down, like dismantling the whole thing, although pretty close to it. And it's not permanently going away. It's still going to be there, but they're redoing it yet again. So Spaceship Earth is going to be down for 2.5 years. 2.5 years without one of the biggest anchors. It is the visual icon to Epcot is going to be gone, done, out of commission, because they are doing so much to it. So they are completely replacing the track. The track, the cars, all of it, torn out, new stuff, that's going to be a huge pain in the butt, because, I mean, there's only a small little entrance exit through the bottom of that geodesic sphere. So I can't even imagine that construction project. So they're doing that. They're refreshing all the scenes leading up to the Industrial Revolution. So those scenes should be essentially the same, but they're going to refresh them. They're probably maybe some new animatrons, or at least spruce them up, pump a little oil WD-40 in their sockets and all that stuff like that. So refreshing those, and then complete and total overhaul of everything after the Industrial Revolution. So you see the gears and gears and the whirs, the gears whirring and everything, and the newspaper kid and all that. After that, you got no idea what's going to be going on. They're going to be completely redoing it, which I understand, because they talk about the present and the future, and after you start trying to talk about the present and the future as something from like 20, 30 years ago, then it starts getting kind of dated. So really interested to see what they're going to be doing for this, especially with the big anniversary. I have high hopes for whatever it is they're going to be doing. Oh, so apparently also the inside, so when you get to the top and it opens up and you see this spaceship, this our spaceship Earth. So when you get into there, the inside of the dome will include the latest in projection mapping technologies. Image mapping stuff is freaking cool. If you're unfamiliar, take a look, take a pause, open up another window, clickety-click on the YouTube, check that, come on back. So yeah, lots going on for Spaceship Earth down for 2.5 years. Plus, apparently they're going to be having a new pavilion, like an entire new pavilion in Future World. It's going to be taking over where the Wonders of Life was, which hasn't really been used in a long time. They had like Body Wars, they had some other cool stuff that was there. I do kind of miss some of it, but so yeah, they're going to be turning that into, actually I don't even know if they have a name for it or not, which again, rumors, cool. So it's going to be focused on the power of play with interactive exhibits with Disney characters. Cool. Makes me think of like a Turtle Talk with Crush, but I don't know. I know they're being intentionally vague, not only to leave them some wiggle room for what it could be in the future, but I don't know. Let's find out. So exhibits are likely to change every 3 to 6 months. So there's going to be a certain amount of plasticity to being able to change everything over. Not sure how that's going to translate. I'd like to think that it should be cool, but we'll find out when it happens in who the heck knows in the next couple of years. And they're talking about it being like a black box theater concept that would allow Disney to recreate past experiences or attractions, which, I don't know, it makes me think of so many different simulator type rides or something, but I don't know if it would be virtual reality or like a larger virtual, like, I don't know. Maybe a larger simulator like a Star Tours. I don't know. And I don't know if they're going to be recreating. I mean, who knows if maybe you could step into this thing and, you want to ride Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? Cool, here you go. Here it is, we recreated it. Oh, you want to see Captain EO? Cool, Captain EO's right there. I mean, assuming he's not still in Epcot. It's been a couple of years since I've been, so I don't... You want to go ride Horizons? Here you go, ride Horizons. I honestly don't remember very much about it. Everything that I've been told is like, it was great, kind of. You want to ride 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea without traveling to California. Who knows? Here, pop that DVD in the player and maybe that'll crank out through. I don't know. But if that's the kind of thing that they're doing, that would be kind of cool. It would help for a lot of people who were nostalgic about some of the older stuff to relive some of those. I could also see them kind of recording the current attractions so that when those end up getting replaced or whatever, that there's still a way to be able to experience that, and that would be cool. So those are some of the latest theme park rumors. That's cool. All right. Before I go, there's one other last little thing that I've been enjoying. So here, let me show you over here. Alright, so there is a card trick that I've been enjoying lately that I really wanted to share with you. Now, it does use a regular deck of cards, but there is an extra card. Now, the extra card doesn't make the trick any weird or funny because it's just a giant Joker card that we will also use. The rest, just a deck of cards, which I think is super cool. Now, the trick does tend to focus around 4 cards. There's the ace, the 2, the 3, and 4 of spades. The ace we'll put over on one side, the 4 on the other. So with the 2 and 3, we'll just pop the 3 next to the 4. So leaves us with the 2. Now that 2 is actually going to travel right through that jumbo card, and it's going to end up with the ace underneath that card. We'll use the rest of the deck. We'll give it a flick, and when you flick it, it actually puts the 2 right on top of the ace, just like that. Now, we can take the 3, add that on top, give that a little flick as well, and you'll actually notice that it's not on top. It's because it's actually gone right through with the rest of them as well. Now, leaves us with the 4 of spades. Now, the 4 spades we're actually going to have go right through that big giant card and end up right there on top of the rest. We place it right in the middle of the pack, like so. We're also going to aim right for the center of that giant card, and when you push it right into the deck, you can actually see there's no extra cards or anything, just the ace, the 2, the 3, and the 4 of spades all together. I think that's pretty cool. Alright, back to the show. Alright, well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that as well. And that's about all the time we've got for us this time. So, of course, check us out on the social media. We have so many different platforms. Of course, you go to facebook.com/richdoesathing. We've got the instagram.com/richdoesathing. You can find me at, of course, the Instagram as well. Twitter at richdoesathing. We've got accounts on Snapchat and Pinterest and the Kick and the LinkedIn and apparently some on the MySpace and so many other platforms, appropriate and inappropriate, that you can think of. Apparently the producers have us set up. So please give us a like there, follow us there. Please, once again, subscribe. That is the biggest help for me here on the YouTube, and come check us out. Once again, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, or anything that you'd like to see or want to ask about, shoot me a message at rich@richdoesathing.com. That's right, rich@richdoesathing.com. And I might address it here, I might address it in email, or you might get stuck in my spam folder, but I don't eat much spam, so chances are I'll probably get all the emails anyway. Alright, well, thank you for hanging out with us, and as we continue on this weird, wild ride. And, alright, I guess I will see you later. Bye.